going on YouTube? What's happening? What's happening? Little fella checking in with y'all. I just want to say it's a long day. It really is out here. Follow up on APU and just like a little bit of maintenance I've been doing so far. I bought my truck end of February, but I didn't put it on the road till the 1st of March. So up until now, I spent a little money on it, you know. When my APU needed service, I got a regular oil change, and then I changed the belt, the filters, and stuff like that. Now I know you can get it done a lot cheaper if you do it yourself, but I kind of want to watch a professional do it first before I thought about tinkering with it myself. So, first bill, as you can see, the Thermo King, bam, $406. And that lasted for about a month. And then what began to happen was my belt started squeaking. Everybody knows your belt's squeaking is usually because the belt is loose or getting loose. So other than that, I waited till I got back home in Florida. And hope my music ain't overpowering. I got a system in there. It sounds pretty nice. But I'm trying to think. Took it to Thermo King here in Florida, or I was in Florida, and they told me that the belt shredded. And the reason why the belt shredded was because the pulley, whoever put it on or touched it last, used a clamp, and it put indents on the pulley itself, which caught the belt, and that ripped it. So in order for me to get it back and up and running, not only had to get a belt replacement, which was warranted, but I also had to get a new pulley. So that bill right there, 30 days later, sorry, I had it in my hand already, you know. That right there was, boom, $305. So I'm already $700 in, and you know, only had the truck for a couple months at that point in time. I got it back into this door, picking up a load of graphic paper. It looked like I'm looking to the right because my camera's right there. But so that was just a little bit. This is APU. It's not even truck related. As far as truck related, I went to a Goodyear. Now be careful about Goodyears. I went to, I'm gonna say where, but I went to it, and I wanted to get a PM, and I wanted to get an annual inspection from my company that I'm leased on with right now. That's going to end shortly, and I'll talk about that in another video. But I go to this old guy, and the first thing he's gonna say when I pull into the bay and he opens the hood, mind you, I got a 14 Evo. No, not Mitsubishi. But he gonna tell me it's a DD13 engine I have underneath my hood. So I'm not the kind of person that get upset or I act like I know it all, wherever the case is, because I like to research. So I said when I bought this at the dealer, which I called, gave him my VIN number, sure enough he said it's a DD15, which I know is a DD15. So he said, I don't care what the dealer said. Well, I kind of do, because when I take my truck to the dealer, Freightliner, that's what they're going off of when they work on your truck. They're going off the VIN number. Every time they ask you, whether you go to Speed Code, TA, Freightliner, Peterbilt, what's your VIN number? Last 6 of your VIN. That's what they go off of, so I care that he says it's a DD15 based off the VIN number I gave him. So I get that first red flag. Right then and there, someone told me to not even get anything done to the truck. But I was being efficient. I had downtime, and anybody that operates their own business would want to do that. Use their downtime efficiently. Makes sense, right? Right. So he go about doing the oil change. He's still not convinced it's a DD13. Now my problem is I don't want him to treat my engine like a DD13, and it's a DD15, and something gets done wrong. Then I gotta be on the side of the road or in another shop somewhere. So with that being said, I called my mentor. You know, my mentors who got me into trucking, had my back ever since I had my CDL. He told me to take a picture of the engine, the driver's side of the engine. And I did. I sent it to him. As soon as he got on his phone, I'm on the phone with him. It's DD15. He owns two or three of those specific Cascadias. You know, he has about 20 trucks, 20 or more so trucks. So I know he knows what he's talking about. He has his own mechanic shop. So I know he knows what he's talking about. And the big argument was that a DD13 has 2 filters plus the big one, whereas the DD15 has 3 filters and a big filter. So he wasn't counting one of them for whatever reason, but it sure is a filter. It was a water separator filter. So going about it, I made sure he changed that one too. Talk about that's an add-on. No, it's not an add-on. It's part of the damn change. He wasn't going to change my water separator, but change all the other filters, thinking it's a DD13. I told you, and everybody else is telling me told you it's a DD15. So he go about doing that. Then the problem came to where he wanted to prime the engine to start it back up. He didn't show me, like Speedco, they'll show you the dipstick, let you know it's at the full point mark. They'll torque underneath. He didn't do that. If he did do that, he didn't let me know that he was doing that. So when I went to go start the engine, of course it started up and then it shut off for a while. So then he's like, rev the engine up some. I shouldn't have to rev the engine up. When I start it up, it should catch on and it'll be good. So it cut off again. So he continues to prime the engine. And then he said, turn it back on. He said, give it some more throttle. I give it a little bit more throttle. What happened then? All the lights on my dash came on. Check engine light, the emission light, the stop light. Boom, everything shut off. So I turned the key off, turned the key back on. I see the code. It was a fuel system detected code, which is basically telling me there's still air in the system. So this dude ain't even priming it right, or he's not doing it, you know, something. So of course I had the manager come out and help him, assist him. He's an old guy, talk about retiring, one of those kind of mechanics. So he comes out and monitors what he's doing, helps him out a little bit, change the filters, prime. So I let the manager know that I didn't have that emission light on before all this started. So he was aware of it. So when I started the truck up again, it ran and then it continued to run. And then I didn't see the code no more, but the emission light was still on the dash. So I turned it off, tried to let it reset, and they thought it cut off again, and it didn't. I said I would just let it reset this time and then start it again. When I started again, then it came back on and I let it run. So the guy that was doing the PM in the annual inspection for me, the way he started was he checked my lights, my turn signals, front and rear, and then he just went under the truck and started doing the PM change. I said there's a lot more to the annual inspection to do than just that, you know. So I know he didn't finish. So when I got out the truck, I didn't ask him. I was done talking to the mechanic at this point. I felt like I was being set up, you know, or he could have been mad. I had a little aggression towards me for calling him out on his shit. So I went to the manager. I said, did he do the annual inspection? He's like, yeah, I got it right here. So I'll look at the annual inspection. I don't got the original one. I got the one that he did after the manager came and did it for him. But anybody knows the annual inspection on the tread depth part, or even the brake thickness, there's no way that all the tread is the same number. No way, no how. Unless you bought new tires, steers, and drives, and then did the inspection right after that. Even then, they still should be, it should be like 28, 30 seconds, or, you know, depending on which brand you buy. It should no ever all of them be the same. I already knew I had one new tire on there on my drives already, and I had 2 new steer tires. So the fact that all of them was typically the same, I know he didn't do it. So I called him on the shit. I said he didn't do it right. So the manager started to get on him, and, you know what I'm saying, he said he should do all the tread depth. He's like, yeah. And I was like, no, you didn't. So he go out, do the tread depth for me. I watched him do it. Now I'm paying attention and watching him. So I said, well, if he didn't do the tread depth, he didn't check the brake thickness either. So he asked him, did you check the brake thickness? He said, yeah. And he said he didn't write it down. I know he didn't write it down because I saw it when I looked at it the first time. So he had to go underneath the truck, check the brake thickness and all that stuff. I'm watching him do it. And he's like, your front brakes new? I'm like, yeah, because I changed my brake drums and shoes 1 month ago. I know they're new. That's how I know I changed certain stuff on the truck, so it should stand out. Now, when you refill the oil, according to my mentor, when running at 200 degrees, it's right on the dipstick where it says the word max. It's at the letter X. He told me that that's a couple quarts over, which is fine. But when an engine is cold, it seems like it's up on the dipstick a little bit higher than that. So I'm not sure. I kind of want to take it somewhere and get like half a gallon removed. If it's under the max, I'll feel better that way, and I'll re-top it off myself. So I'm kind of debating about that right now. I've been riding like this for about a week. So be real careful about your maintenance. Whether you get a regular PM change. I prefer going to Speedco. That's just my preference. With my experience with that specific shop, I'll probably never go to Goodyear again. That's just my preference. So I'm new out here to owner-operator. I've done lease purchase twice, and I drove for an owner-operator for a couple years, and I actually been a company driver once, and that lasted the least amount of time. So I've been to a lot of situations on the side of the road. I did my own repairs. I did some stuff that people wouldn't believe as far as me getting down the road and getting to a shop. Took a lot of risks. Whatever I had to do to save a little bit of money for somebody else because it wasn't my truck. But yeah, that's just the kind of thing. Otherwise, this APU is great. It's working just fine right now. It's quiet. Keep my batteries charged. I'm staying comfortable in the truck. I'm in Atlanta right now. It's mid-80s. Don't even feel it. Hold on, I got this guy coming out to say something to me. Chop the wheel? Okay, I gotta get out this truck and handle this real fast. I ain't gonna keep down hold. Comment below. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's up to you. I'll have another video out here in a minute, like a part 2, kind of, and talk about something else. So, until then,